Now you have the center ribs and they're glued together, and as you can see there's a slot just there. Okay, so bringing the camera back slightly. All right, now what we have is the larger slot there, and do a trial fit, so that goes into there. Right, okay, now I have slightly sanded it down off camera, and we need to make sure that's nice and square on. So you need to get something that's an L shape. I have a 6mm bolt here, and that's square. So now we're now going to glue that into place as shown on the drawing, which is right there. Glue those two together, they go into the center. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use our zap glue. What's a little bit of glue, not a lot, only a little bit. There we go. And make sure we put the cap back on, and keeping the teeth in the down position, slot that in like so. Make sure you press it home, lay it flat onto your board. You can use a rule if you like, and just edge that up so it's nice and straight. Grab your nuts, put that there. Hope you can see that okay, and then let that go off. So that's what I'm going to do, just let that go off. I've decided to go a little bit of a step ahead, so I put in the leading edge here on the starboard wing, or the right hand wing if you like. You have to be very careful about this end piece, it's a bit fiddly, and what I've done is I've used the wood glue, mainly because it's a bit fiddly getting all this amount of ribs into the right place with the glue setting quickly, so you need a low setting glue. Using the low setting glue enables you to do this, and it's the same here for the trailing edge. And as you can see, I've started to glue in the trailing edge here, starting from the middle, and I've let this go off along to this point here because I know I need time to get the rest of these in place, which means I need this to be set in place along here. So this allows me to put the rest in place, if you see what I mean. It puts it in a position where I can work it. So what I've elected to do for the rest of them is I've just got a piece of lollipop stick, or these stirrers you get from the coffee places these days. They're free of charge, you just grab a handful of them. I don't know whether that's classed as stealing or not, I don't know. But anyway, so all I'm going to do is pop a bit of glue there, and just go, well, probably a little bit too much actually, take that off, there you go, and just go to each one individually and just pop a bit of glue in there as shown. And don't worry if you get any on the plastic or anything, it's not going to stick to it. That's the whole idea of having the plastic. Oh, it seems to have a bit of muck on the end of there. And once you have a start, it's okay to carry on with the rest. Now, let's get the rest of that off my fingers in case I put it somewhere I don't want it to go. So here we are. So just get a bit more on the end there. Oop, there you go. Just put it in the gap there. I think putting them in the gap is probably the most pragmatic way of doing this. And as I said, I've not made or constructed a balsa or wood aircraft for about 30 years, so I really am going from memory. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to pop one on the rib here because there's no obvious place for that to go. Only a little bit. Yeah. And of course on the end one here. Right, so I can now close it off, put that to one side, and just edge the trailing edge in, and you'll see immediately that it just doesn't want to go straight in. You have to get the others to line up first and then go back and encourage it to go in. And that's why I did what I did. I'm sorry for my hands in the way. I can't think of a better way. Let me just bring the camera around here, perhaps. Is that better? I don't know. So you have to get the ones in front aligned, the ribs in front aligned here, yeah, before these will follow, if you see my meaning. And it can be a bit fiddly. Now, I was thinking about this wing and this model to myself last night, and I thought, you know what, if you're a complete beginner, this is not going to be a particularly easy kit to put together if you're not used to doing it. Now this one here needs a bit of glue. Just there you go. Just take the end off of what I've got there. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, but there's a bit more on there, I think. There you go. Put a dab on there. So, I've missed the one I was actually aiming for. How about that? Put a bit more on. There you go. I do apologise about the camera work. I'm not a trained cameraman. I'm just some guy in his workshop. I haven't got one of these complicated cameras. I'm just doing it off the phone. Now, where did I see it? Oh, there you go. Put a dab on there. Now this dries translucency. You won't see it, and it doesn't matter if you put too much on. You can just wipe it off. So there you go, and that just pops in. So gluing this end first and then letting it set, and then going this way will give you a lot more flexibility, because it'll stay still, that end, and this end you don't particularly want it to stay still because you need it to be malleable. There's a word I've not used for a long time, malleable. And of course I need a bit more glue on there. This one, you haven't got to put loads on, you just need enough to do what you need to do. There you go. I'll just use up the rest of the glue on here up to there. So yeah, I think as a first model, yeah, you're gonna find it challenging, but that's not such a bad thing. Certainly not a bad thing. We all need a challenge, and we all need to make mistakes so that we learn, because if anybody never made a mistake never learned anything. And of course you're watching this because you want me to make the mistakes for you. Aha. So there lies in the truth, perhaps, I don't know, but that's a good thing as well, because anybody who gets these things right first go is either very good at editing or should be doing this as a living or something, I don't know. But there you are. So they're now in place. Okay, I'll just move the camera down a little bit and move it up a little bit. There you go. So now we're looking at the end of the wing, and I have this piece here that really I could do with using the zap glue on there to make it go off. Yeah, in fact I'll do that off camera. So I've cut out this end of the wing now. I'm just looking up that if there's a number for it. I think it's 25. Just trying to remember. Well, here I've got, this is where I cut it from. This is A2. And I think they're all the same. So I'm lining that up. Oh, my hand's in the way again. Of course it is, idiot. And it goes this way. Looking again at the drawing. Always double check with the drawing. So you have to line that up. And I think this here, this part here, lines up with that. From what I can see. Yeah. That's the way I'm going to glue it, like that. So what I'm going to do off camera is just zap glue this part here so I can get it just to go off very quickly. Back in a second. Okay, so this joint here is now dry and I can put a pin in to keep the wing from moving and slide this end of the wing underneath the main rib there. Just lift that up slightly. That slides in quite nicely there. And all you got to do is line it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the wood glue. I just dropped my pin, and I'm going to put this pin in here and one in here. Well, as soon as I picked it off the floor, that is. And knowing my luck, it's probably gone everywhere and nowhere, never to be seen again. But luckily I have a nice red one. So here we go. Pull that out and grab the wood glue. Now obviously I want this to be a slow process, because if you rush it and you get it wrong, it's stuck and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's the reason. I'll put a little bit of glue on there. Okay, I'll close it off a bit later. Where's my stick gone? There it is. I'll pick it up and just wipe off the excess, because we don't need it. Okay, now obviously this is going to be a static model and we don't need it to fly. Although I suppose there'll be somebody out there who will, oh, I'm not showing you what I'm doing. There's somebody out there who will try and make it fly, and fair play to them. I suppose if you can get the centre of gravity correct, you'll probably be able to make it do that. But there's no dihedral on this wing whatsoever, so it wouldn't be very stable, I don't think. So now that lined up, that looks about right. Probably put a little bit of glue in there. Oh, I might, yeah, actually it probably has enough. A little bit more won't hurt. Close it off. There you go, because we want a nice strong bond on there. Push it to. Now the reason, there you go, see, if you use the wood glue you can move it around. It doesn't set straight away, so I'm going to put this pin in here. There you go, push it all the way in and make it flat to the table. And the other pin I had has also disappeared, so luckily I have a green one, and the green one can go just there. Push that all the way in. Blimey, that's a bit stiff, that is. There you go. And this is just to make it flat with the rest of the wing. Yeah, you don't want it tilting up or anything like that. And I will, actually, thinking about it, use up my last one, I think. We'll have that on the leading edge as well, just to make absolutely certain but that's flat. And we'll leave that to go off, and you'll see the results later, actually quicker than what I did. And here's my pin, I just found it. How about that? You'll find out much quicker than I will how that's turned out. Okay.